Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Jay Horn, your Christian life and relationship coach. And today I wanted to talk about, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Today I want to talk about identity and how we people tend to find themselves when they get older. And I was having a thought about that and wanted to share it. So, side note, I was the type of person who always wanted to make a change of the norm in a sense of, I remember when I was a kid, I was always, when the grown ups would give me wisdom about something, like one of the things being is just like, hey, the friends that you have now are not going to be the friends that you are going to have when you're older. And at that time, and the friends that I did have, I'm like, no, 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 there's no way that's going to happen. We're going to stay close. We're going to stay besties. And I can say, yes, that is true. Only a handful, not even a hand few. It was literally probably one that literally stuck around. But I'm starting to run into some old friends that we can now start, like, I guess, hanging out. Um, and then another one was like relationship stuff, like um being in a relationship. I remember my dad telling me that the guy that I was dating at the time was nothing but puppy love. And I was like, how dare he say that? He don't know our love. And then realizing as you got older or out of that particular relationship that it was superficial. So I'm like, okay, maybe these grown-ups know what they have to say. And now that I have a niece that is 13 and I'm trying to give her wisdom about life because I experienced it, I know who I am at 40, about to be 41. She's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You are, she likes to call me all kinds of names, but in general, she just likes to say that I'm quote unquote lame. So I guess that means in her head that I don't know the latest stuff. And to me, like, I don't fall for everything that's giving to me because I love having my own identity. And she follows the lead, not follow the lead, that's not what I'm trying to say. She follows the trends. Instead of being a trendsetter, she's a trend follower. But I always try to put myself in people's shoes to try to relate to them so that I can't be like, what's wrong with them? Because, sometimes you don't know until you go through it. Um, but I'm kind of going off track of what I wanted to say. So I'm back. I wanted to talk about identity. And at 40, almost one, I realized that I know who I am. Like, I love me. And I realized that it took a long time to figure me out. And I think about how this world messes you up. Like from you're like a little until grown up too. Like there's a lot of people still trying to find themselves. But in me general, being a Christian, God helped me come back to who He created me to be. And I can say that the devil really corrupts that for people because of he comes nothing but to kill, steal, and destroy. And he's the father of all lies. So he lies to us. He wants us to fit into this world. And when he is the king, he is the principality of this world. So that means that a lot of things that's going on in this world is the cause of him. And God has caught us to be set apart, caught us not to be like the world for a reason, because his kingdom is not the same as God's kingdom is not the same as the devil's kingdom. The devil's kingdom wants you to be confused. God wants to know who you are. He gives you the truth. He knit you together in your mother's womb, meaning like he know who he created you to be, but because he gives you free will, he gives you like a blueprint of life, but it's our choice to want to go down that path. And lately, well, I can say 38, right? I think I should add the 38, but I want to say 40. I've truly, truly surrendered my life over to the Lord, meaning that like my life is not my own, which means that how I envisioned me being, or the goals, or the place, the husband, the kid, how I thought that would look like or wanted is no longer my thing, is what the Lord has for me to do or be and have. And some of it is awesome because his ways are better than mine. Some of them is scary because I'm like, are you sure? And some of them is like, okay, I guess because you want me to. Um, but it's still hard. And I talk about how I'm learning so much about myself through the eyes of my nieces and nephews, through the eyes of old friends, through the eyes of just people in general, of like how lost you can be if you don't have a direction. And my direction is literally coming from the Lord. And he's been teaching me so much about who I am, even the parts that I hid away. I was talking to someone about this, and she was saying the same thing about herself, is that like the core her is so not the person she is now because of like the life experiences. And to me, and I was sharing with her, it's like, hey, like that was you protecting yourself. But God has said that he will protect you. So you no longer have to do it. And so that core you needs to come out and needs to be shown. But this time around, you're not you're not defending yourself. Like God is defending you, which means that you take things to prayer. Like not everyone is meant to be in your life. Not everybody's meant to be your friend. And for me, I used to again want to go against the grain and be like, no, I want to be caring, which in essence I am still caring, but I have boundaries to like caring. I guess I would just say that I didn't have much boundaries, right? Like I would invite everyone into this loving, compassionate person, and this loving or wanting to help everybody out, but then I end up getting hurt in the end, and it's because praying to God, it's like he never told you that was your assignment, or he never said that to talk to this person, or he never said to help this person. And I think like that's the difference, is that I was so used to doing things on my terms and not God's terms, and having him to be to direct me. And for me, it does the same thing with the identity. And so with her, I was telling her the same thing. I'm just like, hey, the core person that's inside of you is who you are, and God created you to be. Like you have a purpose. That person has a purpose. And in my eyes, it's like everything that we've been through was to distract you from that core person. Like you now you made self armor compared to God's armor. And to go back to, hopefully I do this right, what I've attended on this video is basically stating that like we do have to go through a lot of things to find out who we are, right? Like heartbreak, in order to experience how to know how to forgive somebody, truly forgive somebody, how to truly love somebody unconditionally with boundaries. Also experiencing jobs and figuring out what you want to do. Like I think that like people find themselves as they're older because of the life experience. And to go back to my niece, it's like she doesn't know who she is because she's trying to figure that out through other people and not through God, because she's not there yet. She's not where like, okay, auntie, I want to read the Bible and find out what God says who I am and who I'm created to be. She's more of like TikTok and trying to figure out how to fit in, which this world is so hard. Like I went school shopping with her, and the clothes that she picked out was so expensive. And what I mean by that is just more of like we weren't like this as kids. Like I was talking to my sister about that. I was like, how, mind you, she's 4. She's one of 4. How does she expect her wardrobe to be able to be financed? like like the stuff like, and then I see that like this is like going out in the, when I go out in the world, like this is what these kids are wearing. They're wearing the I was gonna say certain kind of name brands, but I decided not to because I don't want to butcher the name. But everyone's wearing it. Everyone's wearing it. So she of course has to fit in. And she would tease me for not wearing it. She would tease me for not having the latest style. And I'll be like, girl, I have my own style. Girl, I'm not trying to be like everybody. Girl, I don't even like name brands. Like, I really don't. Like, because I don't like the value of what a name brand's supposed to bring you. And I just thought about that. I was like, hey, you wearing Jordans, or even if that's the style, Nikes or New Balances. I do own that stuff. Doesn't mean I bought it. But most likely I didn't. But owning in that stuff doesn't give you it's supposed to give you your like it represents your value and your worth. But knowing that I know about some communities is like you could be stunting because of what you're wearing. It doesn't mean that you have that. And so going to back to my niece and the identity thing, it's like my job is to steer her in the right direction, to show her who she is through Christ. And I'm telling you, this is hard. It is so hard because this world is making it hard for her. But all things are possible through Jesus. So I just have to keep on just showing her the way. But to go back to the whole identity thing, is a life experiences, is that maybe she has to go through that. Maybe she has to go through this part of her life to grow up and realize certain things. Like there's things that we have to go through to find ourselves. People who are in how would say certain kind of relationships that's not toxic relationships. Like I feel like the saying goes like, what the devil meant for bad, God will use for good for those who love him. I'm not saying that you have to be in a toxic relationship to be able to know a healthy one. But for me, like growing up in toxicity, like that's all I never known. But now I know what it is to be in a healthy relationship and what toxicity looks like. And I know what it feels like to be able to help the next person. But I'm kind of getting off track. The whole point is that now I understand why people find themselves when they're older, because also when you're older you care less. Like my niece actually cares what people think about her and what she's wearing. Look, that's her thought. I'm in my 40s and like I don't care what y'all think about me. Like what how am I affected by what you think about me? Like how am I affected by what I wear? Oh, you're not wearing this. Like, so what? Like, you're not paying my bills. Like, I don't get that's I have a hard time with that part. It's like, why would I drive what I who I stay with or stuff like why does that matter? Like, what does it matter? We make it matter. And so also going through life experience of like losing my mom and losing my sister and nephew, it changed me. It did. It changed me to where I don't care. I don't care. One of it is because life is short. Like, why do I care what you think about me? And when you don't care what people think about you, you're free to be you. And on top of that, you're free to be who God created you to be for his kingdom. And so hopefully this all comes together of I realize that it does why it takes you being older to find your identity and try find your true self than being younger, because when you're younger you have to go through things to figure out who you are. And if you have the right leader, if you have the right mentor, you will get there. But if you don't, you might not truly find yourself in that case of like who God created you to be, or you'll forever be lost. No, but you'll it takes you longer to get there. But I can truly say that at the age of 40, I know that like I still have life to live, and that this 40-year-old will not be the same 80-year-old, because that means that there's the 40-year gap, right, of life experiencing. Like I'm still not married. I still don't have a child, but I know how it feels to have children. And that part has changed me completely, and even how I coach. Literally, I have more grace on people who have a family. Like I get it now. And so that is where I'm going to end it, because I'm just like I can go off on a tantrum. So now I see why it takes people to to be older to find your identity. But you can always find your identity in who God wants you to be younger, because like God told you that in the Bible. But to actually walk in it, actually be comfortable in it, I feel like you do. It takes you to be older to actually to do that. But you know, that's not final say. I know that some people can be comfortable about who they are younger than 40, but looking at my niece, and that could also be an environment thing, but looking at my niece, I'm like, oh, this generation is hard. But yeah, I'm gonna stop there, and until next time, bye.